Another reported attack on truckload full of items as NEMA refutes looting of Abuja warehouse. Negotiations decry worsening economic situation as cooking oil surges, raising concerns of dwindling patronage. Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities threatens strike, issue government 7-day ultimatum. Catastrophic health situation in Gaza as Israel arrests 55 in the West Bank. Hello there, good evening and welcome to Trust TV's news update. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Abuja as a viral video posted online less than 24 hours after a warehouse was looted and vandalized by residents in Gwagwa area of Abuja. A truckload of food items was attacked and looted by residents in the same location early on Monday morning. It's unclear whether the food items belong to a private business or a government agency.
Yes. Yeah, so what is happening this morning?
Oga, we are dying of hunger.
Yes.
So we got to sneak in and find what to eat.
That's right.
Voting tinubu, we don't know that you are regretting. That's why. We are not scared of this.
Is this a government palliative?
This is government palliative.
All right.
This is government palliative. Everything is being, this is gone. This 100 days, I don't know the See, I know the roti finish.
They just keep and seize.
Keep and seize roti and we are dying.
Hungry, they kill people.
Yes.
That's right.
Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has refuted media reports alleging the looting of its warehouse in Abuja, clarifying that the warehouse in question does not belong to the agency. In a statement shared by NEMA press unit on Sunday, the agency expressed sympathy with owners of the looted facility. However, the Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat of the Federal Capital Territory Administration has confirmed the looting of its warehouse in Dede on Sunday by FCT residents, attributing it to economic hardship in the country. According to Zakari Aliu, the spokesperson for the ARD Secretariat, residents had looted everything in the store and vandalized the premises, including removing roofing sheets and windows. Elsewhere, residents of Ido Sarki along Airport Road in the Federal Capital Territory on Monday protested against an alleged takeover of their lands by the Nigerian Navy on Monday. 2 weeks ago, there was tension among locals and residents following the mounting of demolition signposts by the Nigerian Army in the area, asking them to vacate the area. Leader of the protesters, Paul Samuel, spoke to newsmen over the alleged takeover by the Nigerian Navy.
I will answer your question in two ways. The only thing we are aware of is that of Abuja International Airport, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, which it was announced that there was going to be an increment so that they will have their land, airplane ways and all of that. So there was an increment on that land and it ends somewhere there. But as it comes to this other part of the land where we are, we've not had any blueprint from anywhere. And if there is, it is subject to going to find out the authenticity of that blueprint. But as of today, we are not aware of any blueprint. We are not aware of any master plan. In fact, this land as it is for now is a buffer zone. Because if there's anybody who is to come as a developer or as for whatever interest, they go through the federal government, then we now go to confirm or to hear from the minister if it is true.
Now, cooking oils derived from palm or groundnuts serve as indispensable ingredients in Nigerian cuisine. Despite their significance, cooking oil vendors are currently facing a downturn in patronage due to the prevailing economic inflation. And this downturn has significantly impacted their sales, prompting concerns within the industry. Victoria Tokolo, in her survey, went through across the mainland and island regions in Lagos for a situation report. A report is presented from our studio.
Nigeria's inflation rate continues to impact food prices, with many commodities escaping the reach of Nigerians. In Lagos State, the pricing landscape of cooking oil varies significantly across markets, devoid of a standardized pricing system. Sellers set price based on their procurement cost and location, resulting in disparities among market rates. Within the mainland area of Lagos State, a litre of palm oil commands a price of 1,100 naira, while vegetable oil is priced at 1,500 naira per litre. Speaking with sellers in mainland market, insights were gleaned into the factors influencing their pricing strategies, particularly concerning the procurement cost of 25 litres oil kegs.
We are buying this gallon oil, 10,000 naira. But as everything changes now, we are buying the keg 40,000 naira per 25 liters. Whereas this red oil, we are buying before 8,000 naira per 25 liters. But now we are buying 30,000 naira.
Presently now we're selling 28,000 as for palm oil, and then vegetable oil we're selling 40,000 currently. But before we used to sell about 20,000, 21,000, but now it's selling for 28,000.
The price of oil is too high. This morning now, they just brought to me now. I bought 38 last. Now I'm going to buy 40. How much are we going to sell it per bottle? The same thing applicable to red oil. Every day when you get to the market, the things are adding. People are not even able to afford it. There's no market. Nobody's selling anything. You go and buy it and you cannot sell. In a day, you cannot make any sales. How do you want to feed?
Nigerian families in Lagos State are finding themselves grappling with the soaring prices of essential commodities, causing widespread discontent among residents. The complaints about the exorbitant prices resonate throughout the state, reflecting the challenges faced by households in sustaining their livelihoods.
A litre for red oil is 1,000 naira, while 2 litre is 2,000 naira. Groundnut oil is 1,500 for 1 litre, while 2 litre of groundnut oil is 3,500. It's too much.
Nigerian families burdened by the steep prices of essential food items find themselves in a precarious position, especially concerning staple foods they rely on daily.
Now, the sanitization of Nigeria's financial sector has been taking shape with the Apex Bank directive to restrict all Tier 1 bank accounts without BVN, as 91 million bank accounts face deactivation. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks to a financial sector expert on the impact of the CBN directive while gauging the views of the public.
At least 91 million accounts risk deactivation due to non-compliance with regulatory requirements. The central bank has over the years decried irregularities in the financial sector, which are undermining financial services in the country. So what are Tier 1 accounts, and how will this move address the gaps in the industry? Ida Kolokbalade is a former banker turned economist. He says the current drive will have a positive impact on the database of Nigeria's financial sector.
Tier 1 accounts are accounts that were introduced during the financial inclusion drive of the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure that every Nigerian is banked. And the Tier 1 accounts are used to reach the unbanked because it has minimal verification capacities. So deactivating 91 unprofitable probably now accounts, because the bank, when the accounts are deactivated, the bank will not be able to make transactions on them, talk less of making any profit from it. So it's going to definitely affect the banking sector and the banks that those accounts are inside. It's going to cause losses to them, and it's also going to put a clog in the wheel of the financial inclusion plan of the Central Bank of Nigeria. I'm sure that the main reason for this linkage of the BVN, the bank verification number, and the national identity number is to ensure that transactions and owners of accounts can be easily traced and their data can be easily accessed.
Speaking to Trust TV News, Some FCT residents shared their experiences while attempting to link their BVN NIN to their bank accounts.
They passed through a lot of stress, but I heard a lot of people say actually share their experiences with them. Actually not good, but for me it was stressful. The process was, let me say, smooth, but you have to join a very long queue. So when I went to Access Bank, I joined a very long queue at Zenith Bank. The GTP2, I have to wait for more than 24 hours for them to send individual numbers to my phone number to allow me to link the account.
Nigerians remain optimistic about the goal of the BVN, NIN, and bank account linkages as the Apex Banks doubles down on addressing the gaps in the financial sector. Despite hitches experienced so far, the push to regularize and uphold industry standards remain paramount to the calculations of the CBN. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in other news, non-academic staff across universities in Nigeria, represented by the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Education and Associated Institutions, issued a warning on Monday, urging the federal government to adjust their demands within a 7-day period to avoid a nationwide university shutdown. Muhammad Ibrahim, the president of SANU, conveyed their message during a press briefing in Abuja, outlining the drastic measures the workers plan to take if their demands are not met. Among the proposed actions, the workers intend to disconnect utilities such as lights and water, lock up examination offices, and withdraw security officers from campuses, libraries, ICT centers, bursary departments, account sections, health centers, and other crucial areas will also be affected by this decision. Ibrahim emphasized the urgency of the situation, indicating that the unions will convene next week to make a final decision. Ibrahim, the president of SANU, also criticized the state governments for establishing universities without adequate funding mechanisms, citing the example of 3 state universities in Ondo that have suffered neglect. He cautioned against the creation of universities solely for political gains, stressing the detrimental impact on staff members and families in the system.
Members of NASU and SANU were kept at bay. So we reached out to the Minister of Education, and he did assure us that the approval of Mr. President was for all workers in the public universities, especially the ones in the federal universities, as these cases concern. So 2 weeks down the line, we are yet to receive payments for the withheld salary. So this is.
Elsewhere, the House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes has taken a decisive step by deciding to issue an arrest warrant for the Chief Executive Officer of Binance. This action comes after the company failed to appear before the committee despite being summoned. Chairing the proceedings in Abuja, Ginger Obinna, announced the decision during an investigative hearing aimed at probing allegations of terrorism financing, money laundering, and other financial crimes leveled against Binance based on petitions from 2 groups. The report.
The committee expressed dissatisfaction with Binance's legal representatives' claim during the hearing and insisted on the personal appearance of the chief executive to address the allegations against the company.
And also issuing a warrant for Binance executives to be arrested and brought to this committee to answer these questions relating to the financing of terrorism, money laundering, and other financial crimes, as stated in the petition, including evasion of tax.
However, you have been asked, did these 2 people, were they intended to attend this? And you waffled around that question. I use the word very loosely, waffled, because all you did was try and cover yourself while not covering yourself. I believe we are just dragging our feet.
Binance is not here. You have written, you have given us the synopsis. Mr. Chairman, let's do the proper thing. Let the House take leadership of this issue. Let Nigerians be in the forefront of what is going on.
Earlier, Binance's legal representatives cited the alleged arrest of 2 company executives upon their arrival in the country by operatives of the National Security Advisor (NSA) as the reason for the chief executive's non-appearance before the committee's investigative hearing.
2 Binance executives who came into the country were arrested by another Nigerian authority, specifically the National Security Advisor Office. And since then till date, these 2 Binance executives are still in custody.
The federal government initiated a clampdown on Binance, alleging that the platform was involved in fixing foreign exchange rates, a practice believed to be negatively impacting the value of the naira.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Surge of mutilated naira notes in circulation, frustrating businesses in northeast Nigeria. More on this and many other stories up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news and thank you very much for staying with us. Let's take another look at the top stories. Another reported attack on truckload of items in Abuja as NEMA refutes looting of warehouse. Lagosians decry worsening economic conditions as cooking oil surges, raising concerns over dwindling patronage. Now, being in possession of damaged naira notes can be frustrating, but it is even worse if traders or customers refuse to accept them and there's nothing else to do. But possession of mutilated naira notes has been the unpleasant realities of buyers and sellers across markets and have had to contend with the point of business transactions in northeast Nigeria. Here's a special report put together by Daily Trust Northeast Bureau Chief Hamisu Kabir Mutazu.
In the 6 states of Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Gombe, Bauchi, and Taraba, these damaged naira notes that include 10 naira, 20 naira, 50 naira, 100 naira, and even 200 naira are a common sight. They are mutilated, dirty, and at times torn by half, a situation that always triggers arguments between traders, tricycle operators, cabbies, and their customers. And in most cases, such arguments ended with embarrassment or even leading to a loss of a sale or a business relation. However, most people that such a scenario affect are petty traders selling provisions, kola nuts, vegetables, fruits, and sachet water, who struggle hard to make ends meet. According to these petty traders, they tend to lose chunk of their hard-earned capital and profit to the severed naira notes.
A customer would give you damaged naira notes, and if you give to another customer, he will tell you that he won't collect, but we must collect the served notes, else my vegetables will get rotten. There's nothing we can do. We receive these damaged notes every day. In certain instances, parts of the money are missing, but you don't have an option than to collect. It's always a loss on our part. When we receive such damaged naira notes, we take them to some filling stations, but they are now rejecting them. We don't know where else to take them now.
In Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, similar scenario play out.
I had a bad experience with the mutilated naira notes. I received it from customers, but everybody rejected it when I tried to spend it. And it's a loss on my part at the end of the day. We are appealing to the government to replace the served notes because we hardly convince people to collect them. Some people would collect, but the majority would reject. We do have change crisis with our customers that usually takes time to resolve. They would board on our tricycle and demand for that change, and each time we give them mutilated notes, they reject them. We are appealing to the government to print lower denominations.
Residents and traders are unhappy that the severed Naira notes are eating up their capital and the profit they made in their daily transactions. In Damaturu, Yobe State capital, the situation is not different. A water vendor, Shaibu Abubakar, has this to say.
We started witnessing an increase in mutilated Naira notes after a design of the currency. Some people will sneak in these served notes during night transactions. I will not know where to spend them.
These Nigerians are asking the government to print more lower denominations like 10 Naira, 20 Naira, 50 Naira, and 100 Naira in order to save traders from avoidable loss. But the traders also must bear the responsibility of handling the Naira notes properly. The sole administrator of Borno State Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mine, Agriculture, Alhaji Ahmed Ashemi, said business people at the micro level are the most affected.
Our traders and especially business people at the micro level, the smaller ones, they are almost 90% of the currencies in the lower denominations from 100 Naira downwards are all terribly mutilated. And even if they accept it from their customers, how to now go and spend it becomes a problem for them. A lot of them even lose a lot of money through these mutilated currencies when they accept, but in selling, and if they want to buy, the sellers don't accept it from them. Now, I'm surprised that it's almost how many months now? But nearly 4 months that a new governor for the central bank has been appointed, and he's a negotiator. And you know that negotiators, even previous long time back, they don't accept mutilated currencies. And now for him to be central bank governor, and still these currencies in their current stage of mutilation and circulation is very surprising. So I hope that the central bank governor and his team will come to the aid of our small micro and medium entrepreneurs who are selling in small bits, akara, selling grinding machines, these vulcanizers and so on. These are very important segment of our economy. And if they are making losses, then it is something to worry about.
Because they traded 90% in lower denominations. Much as there is blame on all sides, what is clear is that solving the problem of mutilated Naira notes will require a multifaceted solution. But it all starts with the Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN. Hamis Kabir Matazu, Trust TV.
Let's take a look at developments on the international scene. The number of children who have died as a result of malnutrition and inadequate medical care in Gaza has increased to 16. This is even as the Gaza Health Ministry says it has detected about 1 million cases of infectious diseases, describing the medical situation in the Strip as, quote, extremely catastrophic. Meanwhile, the Israeli army has detained 55 more Palestinians in military raids carried out across the occupied West Bank on Monday, according to Prisoners Affairs Group. Now, at least 22 people were taken into Israeli custody in Hebron city, while other arrests took place in the cities of Bethlehem, Ramallah, Jerusalem, and Kalkilia. The Commission of Detainees Affairs and the Palestinian Prisoner Society said in a joint statement on Monday. Tensions have been running high across the West Bank since Israel launched a deadly military offensive against the Gaza Strip following an October 7 Hamas attack. At least 420 Palestinians have since been killed and 4,650 others injured by Israeli army fire in the occupied territory, according to the Health Ministry. Israel stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice over its deadly onslaught in the Gaza Strip, which has left more than 30,000 people dead. The Nigeria Olympics Committee says that Nigeria would be represented by 358 athletes in the 25 sporting disciplines at the 13th African Games. The Public Relations Officer of the NOC, Tony Nezianya, stated this in a statement released on Monday in Lagos. He says that the Games would be held from March 8 to March 23rd in Accra, Kumasi and Cape Coast in Ghana. He said Nigeria is competing in 25 sports at the event. Nigerian athletes were accredited at the delegation registration meeting conducted on March 4th. According to the breakdown, team Taekwondo, wrestling and karate have 14 each, while arm wrestling has 15 athletes. Weightlifting and badminton both have 12-member teams, while boxing has 11 pugilists, 10 judo, while Scrabble has 8 members. Well, that's it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. We'll be back with more news stories later. But for now, follow us across our social media platforms to stay in touch with more news and documentary content. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.